Oh, damn. They're fighting in the Tennessee House. There you see a couple of representatives there getting into a scuffle off the top. And then also the second aspect between one representative, Justin Jones, and another, Justin Lafferty, then got into it afterwards. Now, what is it that they were fighting over? Let's let Justin Jones explain.
So what's going on here in Tennessee today?
So 3 of us lawmakers who stood with our constituents demanding that they take action, and here the thousands of people gathered on Thursday talking about the crisis of mass shootings. We've been kicked off our committees as representatives elected by our constituents. Each of us represents 78,000 people, and our people are being silenced because they're kicking us off committees. They're threatening to take a vote to expel us today. Our member ID badges have been shut off. Our representative ID badges have been shut off. And this is not what democracy looks like. You know, we are elected to serve our constituents, and I'm the youngest Democratic lawmaker here, the most diverse district, and by shutting me down, they're shutting down the voice of my constituents. So this is one of my constituents, Ms. Brooks, and so whose family was hit and you know, a victim of the Waffle House mass shooting, and so we're here to speak for them. And they won't even let us speak for our people. They wouldn't let us talk on the floor. They shut our microphones off. They shut our voting machines off. We couldn't even talk about the issue. And so when we went to the well to force the issue, they called us insurrectionists and are now trying to expel us from the legislature.
He put it all together. As they said, they were trying to talk about this gun issue consistently. And as we saw from last week, I was talking about this extensively, pointing out many of these Tennessee lawmakers that want nothing to do with it, and also national lawmakers as well who were dodging the issue. In fact, some directly saying, you know what, F this, we don't care. And then when they tried to talk about it, apparently they were cut off, shut down, and kept from speaking, even presenting things as far as solutions. So they took to the floor in a bit of a protest with these supporters, and that's when the stuff hit the fan. Here's still Justin talking with some of those constituents behind him that were protesting.
But they're going to have to answer to all these people in here. This is about people power, and that the voice of the people will no better be silenced, no matter what happens. This is what democracy looks like. This is why we were speaking up for the people, and all these people are demanding us to act. This is who we're standing with today. All these children and parents who are saying that they don't want our kids to be killed, you know, in their elementary schools by preventable deaths because we have this proliferation of guns. This is what democracy looks like.
So to show you guys the difference between the two sides here, you have protesters there wanting their lives saved, many young folks, and young adults there chanting about how they would like some kind of change with their government. The folks that could be possibly making laws to prevent more of these. And there's Representative Jones standing in front of them. Let's juxtapose that with one representative, William Lambert. He's a Republican. He went out to speak to some of the protesters in the hallway. And you may not be surprised as the things that he said to them, directly to them. Watch.
So you're not going to like my answer. And look, I'm going to say that straight up. It's not about this one gun. If there is a firearm out there that you're comfortable being shot with, please show me which one it is.
There's none.
There's not. Right there. Every single gun in the hands of a crazy person, a deranged person, a convicted felon, every single weapon out there
going to be more scared when somebody's walking on the street with a giant ass gun for no reason. Like, nobody's going to do good with that gun.
I understand that.
The goal is not to kill.
But it's not, you could ban that specific gun, and you are going to do almost nothing to improve y'all's safety. I'm sorry, that's a fact.
Ben, is that the fact? You can ban that one specific gun, and there's nothing you can do about improving your safety. It's not like we've seen this before. Anyone else has ever done anything that's worked, huh?
Yeah, it's great to be able to pick and choose your facts when making Republican arguments. It seems like their favorite thing to do. I think it arouses them sexually. I mean, it's very confusing why they refuse to acknowledge obvious facts. So one of them is that AR-15s, assault-style rifles, are the ones that are obviously used most often. Why is it? Not just because they look big and bad, because they have huge capacity magazines. They are very quick to reload. You don't need to reload them very often. You don't need to stop to reload them. They have just the ability to mow down a huge amount of people in a short amount of time. So obviously you get rid of that gun. Yes, you could still be shot by a gun, but you won't be shot by the most deadly gun. There's better chance to take out the shooter. He knows that. He's being disingenuous. But also his point is absolutely correct when he says nothing's going to, if you take away that gun, you can still be shot by a deranged person, a crazy person, a criminal that has a gun, right? Which is why he's in support of, universal background checks that have no loopholes, that register private sales? Oh, but of course he's not in favor of that, nor is any Republican, because all they care about is money in their pockets and kissing ass to the NRA, and they do not care about saving people's lives. Otherwise, that would be easy. Long waiting periods would be easy. Why do you need a gun right now? If you need a gun right now, it's the perfect time to cool down for a week. You still want your gun, you can get it.
Well, Ben, what about every time that I can sense when someone's going to break into my house one night and I need that gun to be prepared to protect my family? You know, because that's how break-ins work. They're planned. And if I need the gun right now, I know that a break-in is coming right now.
Exactly right. Exactly. And I mean, if there's any law that they should be fighting against, it's the one that requires you to keep your gun locked separately from your ammunition. Maybe I could bend on that one. If you got a home weapon, you should be allowed to keep it loaded, in my opinion, in your gun safe, so you can pull it out and actually defend yourself in a home invasion. And then maybe they could compromise on making sure crazy people and criminals don't get guns. How's that?
Well, I mean, you know, the best way to defend your home is to spray it with an AR-15 as soon as you hear someone at the door. It's just how these things are supposed to work. I mean, America.
Well, JR, because then you get a bunch of peepholes and you can kind of track the movements of the criminals.
You always know what's going on. It's an improvement. It's a house improvement. May even increase the value. By the way, in case you guys did miss it, though, as of last week, these protests were happening. These folks, there was 3 specific lawmakers there in Tennessee that are getting pushed out. I want to give all their names. I already mentioned Justin Jones there, but I want to talk about all 3 of them. Because on Thursday, these 3 House Democrats approached the podium between bills without being recognized. This is the problem that Republicans had, which is a breach of chamber rules. With a bullhorn, Representatives Gloria Johnson of Knoxville, Justin Jones, as we saw, of Nashville, and Justin Pearson of Memphis, they led protesters in the galleries in several chants calling for gun reform, you know, using the constituents' power behind them, hoping that maybe representatives would think, oh, I represent constituents, not just the gun lobby. And that didn't work, because then what happened was House Republicans formally introduced 3 expulsion resolutions at the end of Monday's evening's session. And those resolutions claim that those 3, quote, did knowingly and intentionally bring disorder and dishonor to the House of Representatives through their individual and collective actions. Apparently, there was no dishonor brought to the House, the Tennessee House there, from their lack of action, or from them telling constituents and children that have been murdered and victims and families of those victims, we don't care, we're not going to do anything. I don't know. Only thing I can do is make things worse from my position, which to me is a campaign ad saying, please vote me out. Maybe that'll get there, but until then, they're looking to murder, or at least watch and think and pray as more children are murdered. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, why would they want to hear from the people, though? You know what I mean? They're there to represent the people. It's like, we got it from here. We don't need to hear the actual people who are actually angry about actually being killed due to the actual lack of gun laws protecting people. And so you understand, as soon as lawmakers want to express frustration and want to encourage the regular citizens to speak their mind, that Republicans would want to shut that down. That's reasonable, because they're corrupt.